Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we are taking a look at the Donner D1, the Donner Essential D1 Performance Beat Machine. Okay, so very powerful machine, really good. You have 12 pads here. Ignore these bottom ones at the moment. 12 pads here, and these are your drum pads. You can load different samples onto the pads. I'll get on into that in a sec. Right. Okay, so you have these 12 pads, right? These contain samples that you can, of course, change. It also has 256 beat slots. So think of a beat as a pattern. A pattern can be up from 1 to 4 bars long. Okay. You also have 64 different kit slots, and the first 16 are preloaded with different kits. Although I've played around with a few of them, you can change them as well. So up to 64 kits, and then you have up to 64 songs. So song mode, a song consists of one kit and up to 4 patterns, and each pattern can have 2 fills. So I'll get into how to program all this and all the rest of it, right? It's very powerful. If you want to load your own samples, this has 4 gigabytes of internal user memory, 4 gig. I've put quite a few samples on here, and I haven't even got to 2%. So, you know, it's 4 gig is huge. Now, the way they did this is each of these drum pads, so you've got bass drum, snare, etc. These first 8, these all have their own independent sample folder on the software. So if you open I'm not going to show you the software now, but it's dead easy. You connect it via USB at the back and you're golden. You literally just drag samples into whichever of these folders you like, and there's a list of them, right? So there are 9 folders in total, although you have 12 pads. So these first 8 folders, these have their own folders. So for instance, it's called bass drum, but you can import any sample you like into it. But, you know, for sake of continuity, it's probably best to import your bass drums into the first sample folder, which looks at this sample pad. Okay. These 4 across the top, these are called samples. So these all share the same folder. Okay. Now, there are a couple of things here that you should know. Sample times. In the bass drum, the low tom, this HC, and what was the other ones? I think there's 5 of them. So could be this one. These have a maximum sample length of 3.4 seconds. So you can load in samples up to 3.4 seconds, which is more than plenty for kicks and snares and hi-hats and stuff like that. Okay. The open hat, which is, I think, this was hard for me to see. I think the open hat and the crash, these can have samples of up to 11.6 seconds. Okay. So in your sample folder, you could drag. Don't worry, you won't let you drag in a sample that's too long. It'll tell you. These 4 samples, this shares the one folder, but the sample folder can have samples up to 58 seconds. Okay, so that's huge. So first of all, let's look at a beat. If we want to change the beat, we hit beat and we can scroll through different beats like this. And we maybe select Amapiano 2 and press this, and that's changed the beat, but it has not changed the kit. If you want to change the kit, hit kit, go down to, say, I don't know, hip hop 1, and then press play. Okay. To load a song, press menu and press song and then load. And I'm going to load this Z acoustic one, which is the one. Oh, let's load this Amapiano one. Click on this, and now it loads up the song, and the song has 4 beats and probably 2 fills per beat. Okay, so the fills are remembered with a beat. To change to another beat, whole beat, and you'll notice up here it says number 1. Now we're on number 2. If we press fill, we'll get a fill. Press the fill again, different fill. Change the beat. Number 3 now. And number 4. Okay. In fact, let's go to another song. I'll load a new song and I'll load one of mine. So load, and I've put some of mine all the way down here at the bottom. So we've got this one here. So it's Doug 064. I'm just going to load this one in, right? So now, and I can go to another beat in this song. Beat 3 now. Beat 4, and it will wait till the end of the beat, of course. And then back to beat 1. Do I have a fill in here? There you go, there's another fill. Okay. Awesome stuff. So a song consists of 4 beats. Now you can choose any beat you like for a song. Okay, so for example, if I hold beat and select number 3, so this is beat 3, and then I say, well, okay, I am going to replace this beat. I will go to, and I'm on number 3, I'll go to beat, choose maybe this reggaeton beat, and enter this, and now you'll see that number 3 is the reggaeton beat, but if I go back to number 1, it's still our ambi piano, acoustic 4, and our reggaeton beat. So, but it uses the same kit. So remember, a song references a kit, okay, but you can have as many different, well, you can have up to 4 different beats in that kit. So we'll get into all that as well. Let's see what else. Okay, pads. If you notice here, when we're not in any menu, we're out. So we got the beat first and then what it is. If we hit a pad, you will see it will change. So bass drum, lo-fi kick, snare. Okay. If you want to change a sound, all you need to do is push this. So select the thing you want to change. So for example, this one, I'm going to press this, and now I'm in all my samples. So I could say, oh, change that to a, I mean, and there's a lot of these in here. Okay, so I could change that to hit piano 2. So press enter and, okay, maybe try this. I'll turn it up a little bit for you. This one maybe. And then if I go all the way down to the bottom here, I've got some user samples that I imported. Now you'll hear that's quite long. And that will become part of the beat. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to do it with this one, but saving everything on it. In fact, I will. It doesn't matter, right? So, for example, say, for instance, now I want to save this particular beat. You have to save each beat independently or make each beat independently. You can kind of copy patterns over, but I'll show you that. First of all, if you've made changes to the song, so for example, I'm going going to make changes to that beat, but don't forget it's part of a song. So I'm going to use step. I'm just going to use normal record. So you can use step recording or just play it in, right? So I'm just going to hit this. It'll give me a 4-bar counting. Stop record. I've changed the beat, and I've basically changed the song as well. So I have to do a couple of things. I've changed the kit, I've changed the beat, and I've changed the song, although I'm only using pattern number 3. So to save this new kit, which I put this in, I hit save and kit. And you'll see it says Lo-Fi Doug. The kit is Lo-Fi Doug. That's one of my kits. So I'm going to press this. I'm going to leave the name of the kit the same. I'm going to press it again. I'm going to go save. And it's done. That's remembered my new kit. Okay. Now I'm going to save the beat because I've adjusted that. So save beat, and it's Reggaeton 1. Enter. Save. And now that's overwritten now. And finally, I'm just going to hit this menu here. Hit song. Hit save. And it's my number 64. I'm going to hit this. Yes, replace content. Done deal. Hit it again. Save. And you can rename it there as well. So you've now saved your song on your kit. That means, remembering this, if I go into song now and I load, say, a different song, this one, okay, and now I play, maybe I can go to another pattern. Have I got any fills in here? No fill in that one. Right, so let's look at how we can program a fill into a beat. Now remember, all the beats in the patterns, they're separate beats, okay? So like, this is the genius of it. You can assign any beat to any kit in a song. It doesn't matter. The kit will always remain the same, but the beats can be anything that you like. Okay, so I'm going to program this, and a beat can have up to 2 fills associated with it. It's associated with the beat. So I'm going to program a fill in here. So all I need to do to program that fill is hold record and hit this, and you'll see that fill will now flash. And that means that I'm now in record fill mode. So I'm going to press record, and it's waiting for me to put something in. Now, all fills are only 1 bar long, right? So now you'll hear, let's stop that. You'll hear that fill is wildly out of time, okay? So I'm going to press shift and this, and you will see this is beat edit. So shift and beat goes into beat edit. This is where you can set the length of the beat, the step velocity. Now don't forget the beat is 4 bars. Fills are 1 bar, but they are associated with the beat. Okay, this might sound confusing, but when you get your head around it, it's really clever how they've done this, because it means you can mix and match everything. You can organize samples much better doing it with independent sample folders, because you're not getting, you could, I mean, at 4 gig, you could literally have thousands and thousands of samples, and you'd be, scrolling forever. Right, okay. I want to quantize this. Now, by default, quantize here, you'll see it's set at 116. By default, quantize is off. Okay, that means nothing will quantize. Now I'm going to set quantize to 1/16th, right? And now my quantize is 1/16. When you're recording, you're not quantizing anything. If you're free recording, it's not quantizing. You quantize when you want to, you either the whole thing or just an individual pad. Okay, so I want to quantize the whole thing. So for example, right, I'm going to hit quantize, and it's now quantized it to 1/16. But I've only got that one snare going on, right? And I'm still in record me fill mode. So I'm going to, this time, step edit some other stuff into there. So to enter step edit mode, we want to, first of all, make sure we're selecting the sample we want to step edit. But I'm going to select our kick drum. Now, if you want to select the drum without hearing it, all you need to do is hold shift and tap the pad. But you can see we're on bass drum here. To go into step edit mode, all we need to do is sequence mode, if you like. We hold shift and sequence. All right. And don't forget, I'm doing the fill now. So I've only got the one bar to play. So I'm going to put 4 kicks in here like this. Okay. And now, all right. So I'm going to come out of sequence mode. To get out of fill mode, again, all we need to do is hold record this and we're done. We're out of fill. And remember that we want to save that now as part of the beat. So beat, it's number 3. So yes, save, and it's done. Right, so now that is part of the song. Done deal. So really easy stuff. Right, while we're on here, in fact, let's go to another song. So I'm going to press menu, song, load, and I'm going to use this one called Is It Proof? And you'll see it contains 4 beats, proof 1, proof 2, proof 3, and proof 4. So go back to proof 1. Everything in this kit is an original sample. It's a sample that I've imported using the desktop software, right? So beat 2.
It is proof. 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 It is proof.
Put a fill in that one there.
It is proof. It is proof. It is proof.
Pattern number 4.
It is proof.
Okay. Let's look at mixing. And you'll notice what happens is it's extremely clever. When you start to add, when you save a kit, effects aren't saved with the kit. This means that you can have a different effect. So don't forget, you use one kit, you can have up to 4 beats and the fills and all the rest of it. But all the mixing and effects and stuff is remembered as part of the song. So for example, you might have noticed that if I go to beat number 4 here, right, you'll see that some of these have gone really dull. And if I play it, it means that I have muted some of these in the mixer. So if I just quickly touch this and go into mixer view, you'll see that these 3 are all turned down. These are turned down. And then the last one, these are turned down. Now, these 3 banks, these refer to this, this, and this. And you can see by the colors, but not on here because there's hardly anything going on. So let's go back to beat 1 and look. Bank A is this. Bank B mixers are these. And bank C mixers are these, right? So, for example, this is easy. Let's take out the kick. Make sure we're on bank A. Our kick is here. Let's take out that synth sound. We know it's on bank C, and we know it's the last one. So no more synth sound. Now, if I was to save this it would remember my mixer settings and any parameter settings I do for the, like for instance, the sends, for example. This is why on beat number 3 here, I have a delay on here. This is a good point time to show you the send effects, right? So if I hold shift and I choose to pick one of these send effects, and they're touch sensitive encoders. So here I can turn this delay off completely.
It is proof.
Okay. Or I can give it some more back.
It is proof.
Maybe a bit more.
It is
And this is your send level. So if I turn this all the way down,
it is proof.
You won't hear anything. But since you can control the level here, it's probably a good idea to have your send level up. Like you're retaining your send effects return, right? Anyway, that's kind of self-explanatory. But I could say, okay, maybe this snare sound. If I hold shift and turn up and make sure I'm selected on the snare, hold shift and turn up the reverb. Okay, let's turn it up some more. I've put loads of reverb on there now. Right now, so these are your master effects. There is a third master effect, which is a compressor. And I'll show you them right now as well while we're messing with the delay and the reverb. Master effects here, right? So master effects, reverb, delay. Let's look at reverb. You'll see that we have several options that we can mess around with for the reverb. So high pass filter, low pass filter. Type, you can have church, plate, or I think is hall. Let's leave it on church. Then you can have the decay and the tone of the reverb as well. Okay, so then you've got delay, and you have a couple of different types of delay. So you have a bucket brigade delay, which is, and then you've also got a digital delay. So I chose the BBD for that one. And then you have a rate here as well. And then your feedback control at the bottom. So how long you want your delay to go on for. Okay. So that's your kind of your send effects, right? Now, there are a bunch of other effects as well. Let's just get out of that menu. In fact, for this, I think it would be more logical to show you on a different... So I'm not going to save that because I've messed with it and I don't want to overwrite what I'd already previously written. So I'm just going to go to menu, go to song, go to load, and I'm just going to go and load up. Actually, let's start with an empty one. So I'm going to load up a completely empty song and I'm going to start with empty number 61. And now if I play, there's nothing. And we have a basic kit in here. Now, don't forget, we can select the kit anytime we like. If I change the kit here, it's going to change it here. But this is a good time to show you the other stuff. So each pad, right? Each pad has a bunch of different effects that you can apply. You can pan, you have parameter 1 and parameter 2, and they change per pad. That's a bit strange, but that's how it works. And then you have decay and pitch. So for example, if I tap this, now you also have parameter locking, which I'll show you in a moment. So for example, with the snare, you can tune the snare, and then you can also, let's look at this one. It's got a nice decay. We can alter the decay, or the panning, so you can pan it. Okay. And then you have your, let's see, oh, that's it. But then you have your special parameter controls per pad. So for example, if you wanted a certain effect that's associated with the bass drum, you would need to put your sample into the bass drum or whatever it is. So for example, the special parameters for the bass drum are a low cut filter, low pass cutoff, and a distortion. But for the snare, for example, we have a high pass and a resonance. Okay. And then for this tom, cutoff, and a bit crusher. And for these, for a couple of others, you have some really neat stuff. So closed hats, for example. Now, don't forget, we've got no beat. So let's make a beat. Let's program a beat. Now, this beat at the moment is beat 241E. We're going to change that. And this is how we can start to make a song as well. So before I do that, I'm going to go to beat, and let me just scroll 2, 4, 3, 4, 4. I am going to go down to the previous 4 from my proof one. I'm just working backwards. So 2, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to start with beat 245. I'm going to enter this. It's empty. There's nothing there. The kit will be the same, but we can change all that when we're ready. It doesn't, you know, you can import your own samples and stuff. I'll change some of that stuff up for you, and you'll get the idea pretty quick. Let's set these back to normal as well. I've got this mode as well in. Oh, by the way, I've got this lighting gel because it's a bit bright and it's easy to see if the lighting gel is over there. So let's put a beat in. So like I said, I'm going to go shift and beat and leave it on 4 bars. I'm going to leave quantize off at the moment, because if the problem with having quantize turned on is if you're working on a beat and you don't want it to be completely quantized, because you can choose to quantize individual instruments as well. If you accidentally hit quantize, it'll quantize everything if that quantize is set, right? Just be a little bit careful on that. What I do is set that there. Right? Okay. So first of all, I'm going to hit shift and this, and I'm now in sequence mode. So I'm going to put some kicks in here. Let's see. And don't forget, it's 4 bars. So to access the next set of pages, we just hold this and go here. I'll put another couple in here. I'll hold this and go to the 3rd page. Don't forget, we're 4 bars long, so each page is a bar. I'll put some in here as well. And then go to my last page and just put 4 in like this. So now we've got this to start with. And then the last page and you can see which page you're on, right? So if we go back to page 1 here, I'm now going to put some hi-hats in, right? So shift, select the hi-hat, and now I'm in hi-hat mode. I can put a bunch of hi-hats in. I'm going to go to my next page. Cool. And next page. Next page. Okay. So I'm going to exit step sequencer mode a minute. So that would be the beginning of our 4-bar beat. Let's change that sample because it's a bit crappy. So for example, we'll select it here, enter into our sample selection. Now, unfortunately, you can't preview samples. You have to enter them first. So I'm going to try this first. This is one of mine. I'm going to click on it and click on it again and maybe choose this. Okay, that's fine. And I'm on bank B, so cool. Now we've got this hi-hat replaced, so in fact I'm going to put a few more in, right? So I'm going to enter sequencer mode. Go back to page 1. Page 2. That's fine. And bar 4. Okay. Let's get out of sequence mode. So now this, the parameters for the hi-hat, you have attack, but you also have this cool humanize, which starts varying length, decay, velocity. Okay. We also have swing. Okay, so swing is here. You hold shift and this, and now we can set swing. Very cool. Okay. Exit all these menus. So maybe we want to change out the kick. So let's select it. Go in here. I'm going to go down and choose so you find what you like. Cool. Now we've got this pattern. What we need. Here's the thing. We've made some changes. Let's make a few more. I'm going to put a different sample in here. So enter. Going to find some stuff I've got maybe down here. Must thank Dean Daughters Electronic Sounds. This is a kit made exclusive for his patrons. This samples that I'm using now. I'll be doing a video for them as well. So now we've got this in there. Maybe put a different one in here. So now we're building our own kit sort of thing. So I'm going to change this as well. Maybe we could change the decay on that a bit. If you wanted to put some reverb on there, we could say, well, okay, let's increase our reverb for that. I think for this kick, for example, I'm going to select the kick, go into step edit mode. Go back to page 1 and page 2. I'm filling all these, so I've got a 4 on the floor for everything. In fact, on the 4th one, I'm going to add some extras in. And I'm going to select the bank A and turn it down a little bit. Now, let's pretend you've took your time and you've built a completely new kit. We're going to save this kit. So save kit. All we need to do now is, in fact, I've got 3 kits already. Do 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go to where it says kit number 20, enter. Now, to name your kit, you hold shift, and I'll just call this, I can change this in the software. I'll just quickly call it Doug. Let's see. I can hardly see this. So, right. So Doug and I'll call it 04 because it's my 4th kit. So 4, 5, that was 4. Save, rename kit, save. The kit is saved. The beat isn't yet. So to make this quick, I'm going to quickly just name this beat something. We can come out of step edit mode as well. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to save the beat. So save and beat 245E. I'm going to enter this. I'm just going to rename it. So I'm going to call this, just for the sake of speed, right? I'm going to hold shift and just call this, I'm just going to change the first letter to something I can remember. So just go to my numbers and call this 1. Okay. Press this to enter, save, and we're done. And because we might like to be working on a song, let's press menu, song, save. MT61 is fine. So again, I'm just going to press enter, replace content. Yes. I'm going to leave it MT61 because I can always rename it later, right? Enter, save. Now, what we're going to do is build on that beat to make a song. So remember what I said, the beats are associated with the songs. You can have different beats for the song, right? So there isn't any copy pattern paste beat or anything like that. It's actually easier than that. So this is our beat. Okay. And we know it's 1 eat. Okay. So we're standing on number 1, which is the first pattern in our bar of 4. Let's hold shift and go to pattern 2. Actually, I'm going to say, what have I done here? Right, sorry, wrong button. Hold beat and go to pattern 2. Oh, look, there's nothing in there because we haven't programmed anything. And it advances automatically. So all we need to do now is go to beat, right? Let's load in our one that says eat, wherever, there it is, eat. So we're going to press this. And now number 2 is an exact copy of number 1. You see? So if I go to number 1 now, watch it change up here. It's the same. So go back here. First thing I'm going to do is change the name of that. So I've got a brand new beat, but with what's already in there. So if you think about this, all this becomes logical, right? It's not like it's not super difficult to grasp. It becomes logical in the end, right? So we need to change the name of that beat. So I'm going to press save beat. I'm going to save that beat too, because if I save it there, it's going to overwrite my, I'm going to go here, save to beat 246E. Do this, and I'm going to change the name, right? So hold shift. I'm going to change this to 2. Like that. You see, for speed, 2. Enter. Save. Now, if you look now, number 2 is 2 eat. And if I go back to this, Number 1 is 1/8. So going back to 2, I can now start adding my kit. So I can either do it with step sequence or real-time recording. Let's do it with real-time recording. So let's give ourselves a counting. You can switch your metronome on and off here. And you also do your BPM here. But if you want to turn your metronome off, you hold shift and you can switch it on and off there. So I'm going to go back there. I'm going to leave this on 90 BPM for a sec. So I'm just going to improve on this beat. So to make sure you're on your beat that you want to, you like your pattern you want to edit. So pattern 2 in our song sort of thing. And I'll jump in a sec. Now, you see this isn't quantized, right? I'm just going to quantize this one. Now make sure, no, I haven't got quantize turned on. Good. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to quantize it to 16ths. Okay. I'm going to hold quantize and hold my snare, and it says quantize SD, and now I'm quantized to 1/16. Okay, and now if I go back to pattern 1, okay, pattern 2, because it's now referencing a completely different pattern. Okay, let's just throw that in for fun. So I can't remember where I am, so I shall press. Awesome. Let's make some adjustments to the volume for this. So, and all this is all these settings are remembered per song. Don't forget. Right. Let's have a look at parameter locking. You can do parameter locks on this. It's quite nice. So how do we do that? So the easiest way to do parameter locking, or the only way to do parameter locking, of course, what we need to do is enter into sequencer mode. So let's choose something that we want to play around with. For instance, let's choose our snare. Okay. And now you can see we have our snare flashing. And if we go to our pattern, we're on pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3, pattern 4. In fact, in pattern 4, I'm not using patterns. I'm only using the 2 at the moment. So I think what I'll do is, no, I'm using 4 bars. That's right. I'll go to, I've got them in the wrong place actually. So I'm going to do that. Put them in the right place. Go to number 4. And I'll add in a bunch of fill type things. Let's have a listen to what these do when it gets round to pattern 4. So now, okay, epic. Now, when you're in sequencer mode, you can parameter lock stuff. So if I go back to say page 1 of our beat, oh sorry, I've changed the beat. Don't matter. Let me just, yeah, that's fine. I'm going to back to pattern 1. So got to be careful, right? Yeah, we wouldn't be able to do that anyway because we need to come out of sequencer mode to change where we're at. So 1, 2, that's fine. I'm on number 2. So go into sequencer mode, just keep hold of one of the pads and you'll see this screen will change to parameter lock. Okay, so now you're in parameter lock. You can change the pitch. This is individual steps, right? For each individual pad, you can change the velocity, the pitch, the decay, the high pass cutoff, the resonance, the pan, and if you go to another page, the substep. Let's first of all look at the substep. Let's enter this. This is where you can put, oh, you can see that as well. I'm not exactly on, but let's put this exactly. So see my thing. It's hard to see, but there's a little line that moves along. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to this one and I'm going to take that off. So this is the one we're working with. Okay. I'm going to put in see, a ratchet. I've only got 3 and I've got a load. Let's go to this page and put one on here. So I'm going to long hold that. Oh, sorry. What I need to do is come out of edit mode. So these are things you'll know. Excellent. I'm going to go to shift, go here. This one I said, long hold. And this time I'm going to change the pitch a little bit and the substep. So this should be a little bit higher. When it comes round, you'll see it. See, that was up in tone. Let's add some of these. So let's enter that. So now we've got our little going on. Excellent. Or anything else you wanted to do? So let's stop that a sec. So remember what I said. Once you've created everything you want, if you've messed around with it, like I've messed around with that beat now, so I'm going to change beat number 2, save, and that's done. I'm also going to maybe save the kit because I can't remember if I've messed around with that. Okay, and finally, we'll just go into song and save that as this empty. Yes, replace content, everything's fine. And save. Done. And now we've created a new song, if you like, sort of thing. So if we look at menu now, we go to song, we go to load, and maybe go, right, I'll go to this one, which is a different one. You can mute and solo stuff as well, okay? So, for instance, hold mute. Or you can solo stuff. So you hold shift and mute. Shift and mute. Okay, awesome stuff. You can also clear, you have an undo as well. So, but if you want to clear everything, you hold this, okay, and it will clear the entire pattern. If you just want to clear a particular part, say for instance, this, hold clear part, and it clears that part out for you. Okay, shift and undo, and it will put it back in. Epic. You can change the tempo anytime you like as well. Right, couple of other things. You can go into the menu here. You have beat slot. This is where you can set up the play mode. which I'll show you now, actually, funnily enough. I'll do that. I'll show you play mode now. That's quite handy. Let me go back to one of my songs. So, actually, let me slow it back down. Okay. So, by default, play mode is manual, which means holding beat. Okay. If we go into menu, we go to beat slot, hit this. The first one is play mode. Enter that, change it to auto. And what will happen now is, when we come out of this, it will play each pattern as it goes along. So after it's done its cycle, all 4 bars, number 4, pattern 4 that is, and then it'll go back to pattern 1. Okay, so you see, you've got quite a lot of power. By the way, you also have full size, I'll quickly show you that actually, full size MIDI in and out. You have auxiliary in, headphones, USB-C, so you can sync up to anything else. You change your sync settings in the menu as well. So look, if I go to menu again and I go to beat slot, you've seen what we've got. We've got metronome, volume, you can control the metronome volume, song BPM. We have global BPM on lock. Global BPM means that in the song, your full patterns won't change BPM because you might have picked a pattern that might have had a different BPM. So I have global BPM on, and your pattern, it won't change. It'll stay the same tempo. I think that's on by default, actually. Song BPM you can change here as well. For example, you could do this, but don't forget you're making changes, so you need to save metronome volume, blah, 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 blah. You've seen that, right? So if we exit all of this, go back into menu, global. So clock source, you can set your USB, MIDI, etc. Fader mode, I have fader mode set to pickup, which what means is that if I'm playing with faders, right, and I go to another bank and make adjustments. So look, remember this one is up here. If I go to, say, bank A and start playing with this, once I go back to bank 4, my fader will still be at the top, but doing this won't jump that fader until I pick it up at the top. Super handy and very useful, and I would suggest that's the mode you use. And that's pretty much it. Now I know it seems like a lot to take in, but honestly, it's not. When you get your head around how they've designed this, it's really clever. So, you know, being able to say, right, what's this? This is our song, right? And don't forget, I've got the beat slot here. I had this on auto. I'm going to put it back to manual. Okay. It means that, like in our song, we could say, well, I want to change the kit. So go into kit, maybe use Doug 3 kit. I don't know. And it's going to be the same pattern, same song, different kit. So you could save a whole new song, right? Completely different, but same. Just the kit's changed. Just the kit has changed, right? You can do it on the fly if we like. Guys, I know this has been a long video, but honestly, the stuff is really good. Once you just need to dig in. There's a lot to dig in and a lot to learn, and that's in a way good because it gives you more power and more control. You like your parameter locks, you're making your songs just to make sure you're associating certain things with other things. Big rule of thumb is just keep saving stuff, save kit, save song. Anyway, I'll play for, if you've watched this video premiere, you've done well. Thank you very much. Please strike the like, subscribe. I'm going to play a couple of the basic songs. I might play I like my proof one I did. Is it proof? I'm just going to play this for a couple of minutes. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Ta-da.
It is proof. 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 It is